welcome to rap class. Kenny's gonna start. Ready?
Tom's got the beat.
I'm eating.
You can't do that.
Did I just spit all over there? Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some insight because this is gonna be one of your projects that we're gonna end the year. Sorry?
I was gonna say, do we need to take notes?
No, just listen, watch, and learn. You're gonna actually participate, so then you'll
Is this recording already?
learn. Yeah, it's recording. Yeah, you're good.
Wait a minute.
Okay, what's that?
It's recording right now?
Yes.
You never got permission from me.
Okay. So
Actually,
rap
the
class,
paperwork you
I'm
signed?
gonna give you some insight and some ideas on how to do this. Okay, strategies on how to approach this, because as simple as it might seem, all these dirt bike parts are great pieces for us to learn on. So, and we're gonna do this today. You're gonna wrap the pieces to practice. Okay, we're not gonna do it with graphics because we don't have time to print on that. We're not at that stage. But you're gonna design the wrap. We'll look at a template. Monday also we're gonna be looking at templates, or actually ratios. Yay! Say yay for ratios.
Yay.
Ratios. Everybody know what a ratio is?
Yes.
Comparing something to another.
Yes.
Yeah, I taught you, and then it kind of didn't go right. So that is right.
Comparative numbers.
Comparison of numbers. So we're going to talk about scaling. So for this dirt bike, or these dirt bikes, there's a template, and we are going to learn kind of how to do ratios on that and vehicles. So anyways, as you see, there's an example here. There's also other examples here. So let me get started.
I already know all those stuff.
Good. This is a piece of very thick vinyl that's laminated. Vinyl has different qualities. We've gone over this. Remember, there's two types that we really work with. One is a wrap vinyl. The other is a non-wrap vinyl, right? Mm-hmm. The differences are, did anybody remember?
I don't think I was sure.
Okay. Anybody else? What's that? Nobody remembers that? Recalls the differences?
What was the question?
There's two main types of vinyl that we were working with. One is a wrap vinyl. One is a non-wrap.
Isn't the non-wrap vinyl doesn't have a sticky side?
What's the difference?
No, they both have sticky side.
What do we put on a car?
Is it the flexibility?
Yes.
Is it its moldability?
Yes.
How durable it is?
Yes. One is just very simply made. Literally, it's going to be rolled out. It's going to be a vinyl, some sort of plastic with an adhesive on it. There's no qualities about it that are helpful to contour and for making shapes, and not that type of contour. And then there's the wrap vinyl, which with heat, it will conform to any surface, okay? So I'm going to give examples. For example, here, this is an attempt. Oops. This looks quite messy, but this is, if you can look, this is the spring cover or the shock cover for the front wheel, one of them. There's some errors and mistakes on this. This is what it looks like when we try, and this, whoops, is what it looks like when you rip it apart. But all these errors and mistakes and stuff, all this, remember what can the vinyl do? Just to review, can you hold this, Giovanni?
You can blow dry it
If
back
you
to the
heat it
original.
That's
up,
right.
it goes back to its original.
That's right. Yes. So those of you that don't know, if I hit it with enough heat, it goes back really nice. No errors, beautiful, nice, clear, no folds, no wrinkles, anything. Okay, so thank you. Okay, the first step you're going to do, and I'm just going to walk you through the steps, and then you're going to do it. Okay, so I'll get through this part, and stay with me. Yes.
We're all gonna do it?
Yes, you're all going to do it. But I'm just going to demonstrate for you. What's that?
Is there a requirement for all of us to do it?
I would suggest that it would be helpful, but if you choose to not do it, I think that's in your power.
Okay.
Yeah, just like anything else you do. There will be consequences, but you're free to do it.
Okay.
Great. So our first step. Maybe you want to guess what these are?
Clean.
What?
Clean.
Clean. Very good. So, for instance, I'm just going to take this off. This piece needs to be cleaned. There's two ways to clean this in our class. There's other ways in industry probably, but one is alcohol. This isopropyl alcohol, there is a warning on there. It's very flammable, so no open flames, sparks, things like that. Okay. Use your goggles possibly. If you're going to deal with that, that would be a good idea to put them on, just if you're wiping, pouring. The correct way would be to grab a towel, open it up, put some in the towel, like hold the end, just dip it in there. We did have a spill this morning, so careful.
And clean it up.
The alcohol will remove the edge of the adhesive. There's plenty of pieces, and you're going to have a choice of what piece you want to wrap. Don't go now. Just hold on.
The tire?
Yeah. Or like that. Like when you remove old graphics like this, there's adhesive that's left over on the edges. It's because adhesive shrinks, or stickers shrink with heat, and they leave adhesive edges. So the alcohol will get rid of that. So you want to do that so your piece is nice and clean. Okay? So clean is our first step. So I'll just write it in. Bill, can you write for me?
Sure.
So clean, EA. So clean is our first step. And this does stand for alcohol, and this stands for rapid prep. Okay?
Cool.
There's two chemicals, rapid prep and then rapid tack. This is the stuff that smells like vanilla. This is for application, wet apps. Would I do a wet app with wrap vinyl? No. It's like putting training wheels on a dirt bike. Not a good idea. So wrap has its own ability to do that. It doesn't need wet. Now the other vinyl that doesn't have any airy grass, the little lines, yes, do a wet application. Okay, just a little review. Does that? Yeah, you were missing that, Joe. You must not have been here. Okay, it's good. Before you start, you'll have your piece. You'll have a piece of cut vinyl. You need your tools, so 2 O's. Tools. This
Squeegee.
morning, and this is a very funny thing, you get to the site, and I've done this maybe once or twice, but you get to a site, and you have all your stuff, well, almost. And you get to the roof, you climb up the ladder, and there's a window up there where you're putting a decal in, and the wind's blowing. Actually, there was one time I was on the edge of a roof, and there was the lit up signs, you know, that have the lights in the plastic underneath that show the words of the business. So I'm on the front of this building, the wind is blowing hard, I got my decals rolled up, ready to go, and the wind's blowing everything, and I forget, when I'm up there, after I pull one thing off, I forget that I didn't bring my knife. So I got the decal out, it's hanging off, the wind, and my knife is in the truck. I'm like, and there ain't nobody else is there. So tools, make sure all your tools are right here. Because this is what happens, you go to wrap, and you're starting to go, and you're like, oh! And you're kind of stuck with it. So make sure you have your tools, and those are going to be your squeegee. There's no knife here, but it would be a knife. And you may want tape, okay? In this case, tape isn't as important, but those are the 3 things that are basic, okay? So, squeegee, tape, knife. Wanna write those down? It's squeegee. Anybody know how to spell squeegee? That's a hard one.
S-Q-U-E-E-G-E.
Squeegee.
Oh, squeegee.
Jesus.
I was like, okay.
There's 4 E's in the whole word.
Squeezy?
Yeah.
Make
a sleeve.
Who was that one squirrel?
I feel ya.
Squizzles or
Good.
Looks good.
Is that his name?
The next step is probably the most important to think about when you're doing this. It's really important. I think it's very clear this morning. If you were here, you would see that, and I think you'll see that when you start this. Many of you are going to think, oh yeah, just put it on there like you logically would do something else, like putting your covers on your bed. You just throw them out there and just plug them in and smooth it out or whatever, and it seems like it just, you know, could make your bed. It's easy, right? This is very different. This has like a mind of its own. You need to do what it does. Know what it wants to do. If you try to make the vinyl do what you want without considering its physics, it will fail. You'll have like creases, folds, rips, just things that will make your vinyl fail. Let me explain why that's so important. Kenny creates the King Me wrap for this dirt bike. Boom, it's this 4x8 sheet of all these decals printed, and it's laminated. So if this vinyl, we're talking about vinyl cost, this vinyl, the roll of this vinyl at, let's just say an example, a standard roll of this is going to be 8 feet wide for a normal press, 6, 7, 8 feet wide, and it's going to go 50 yards. Okay, for that roll of vinyl, it costs $300 to $500 for the vinyl. If we broke down cost per square foot, it could be $5 or $6 per square foot, something like that. Depends on the quality. High quality stuff, right? So now let's say we have the vinyl, $5 a square foot. Now we have laminate that goes on this vinyl. We have the ink that went on this vinyl. What I'm saying is that you want to make sure when you apply this, we print that one, that it's done well. Because you don't want to go back and do this all over again. Print, laminate, all those costs. The boss won't be happy, you won't be happy, it'll be bad, right? And especially if we're doing a vehicle wrap, that's a 4x8 piece of vinyl, has to go well. So that's why this next step, divide and conquer,
Hey, I knew it.
good, is really important.
Diverse and something else.
Do you buy like the vinyl and stuff like that, or does the school provide it for you?
I don't buy this. This is our budget for our program, so this school pays for this. We're practicing on medium level wrap vinyl. There's even higher quantities or qualities. For example, a really great brand is 3M. IJ 350, I forget what IJ 150, what they're called, these names, is wrap vinyls. Primo, very nice stuff. Primo. That would be Italian word, I believe, for the best. You can check that.
It's Mexican, so not Mexican.
So divide and conquer, what do I mean by that? Ta-da, look at this, I got whiteboard steady here.
Do you?
Divide and conquer, that, what does that term refer to?
Conquering the empire.
Separate.
Divide and conquer, when you hear that, what do you think?
Empire.
Oh, to separate and take over.
What?
Genocide?
It says war.
No.
Okay,
Military.
so it's an option.
Military strategy to where, like,
Take
if
it all over.
to where the one big group breaks into two groups and hits the opponents from the side.
Great. So it's a military strategy. Make sense? Military strategy. This is what an army might think as a, what's that?
I thought it was a de-stressor.
Divide and
If you have
conquer?
too much work, you're just like, okay, let's make little milestones and let's get to it.
That's a great way to look at it too. But the origin of the phrase is military. Yeah.
I thought that because, like, in, like, Japanese.
Thought you did.
In, like, Japanese history, they'd have, like, little teams of archery men,
Uh-huh.
and they'd split them up into two, thinking there's more opponents than there really is.
Well, and this isn't about deceiving as much as what you have to do when you have something like this. So if we have a flare, or a fairing, sorry, or even a wheel cover, wheel fairing, I'm not sure how you say this. How do we approach something like this, or even the pieces you have? This is what I'm going to explain to you. You might think it's as easy as a bed cover, throwing it over, put it on. But here's the strategy. So I'm going to tell all of us, so we're all thinking about that instead of me trying to teach each one of you while you're making the mistake that you would inevitably make in trying to just apply this. Your first try usually doesn't make sense because you're doing it the way you think, or you need to do it the way it thinks. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Soldiers, this is the analogy I use.
Okay.
If we have a war or a warfare, and you have soldiers, like if we were all a little band of brothers and sisters, whatever you want to call it. No, you don't like that. That wasn't good. If we were a little band of brothers, to quote the movie title or show title, if we were going to approach an enemy, and if we were in a line like they used to fight, not like they do today, we want to make sure everybody stays together. The moment Bill, okay, here's the scenario. We're all fighting, shooting, let's go historic medieval. Arrows, bows and arrows. Anybody else shoot bow and arrows?
My cousins do.
Okay, I do too. I love shooting bows. Okay, traditional archery is awesome. We're all moving up, we're all going, and Bill's really intense about fighting, so he starts breaking the line. And he starts running, and we're like, Bill, what are you doing? He runs, who dies first? Bill. Who gets picked off first? Now, we all might get hit, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you and you start going out first, and you go out farther than the line. Are you more at risk?
Yeah.
Yes, right, obviously. So, with this idea of divide and conquer, there's a couple rules, and I'm going to explain what that looks like. I know I'm giving you an analogy about warfare when it has to do with vinyl, but it helps you remember this, so that when you're doing it, you're thinking about it. If, when you're doing the conquering, if you're the line, and what I mean by that is this. For example, if part of applying the vinyl gets ahead of the other part, and what I mean is this. Let's say this is divide and conquer. I know it won't make sense now, but it will once you do it. This is divide and conquer. I have a piece of vinyl. I want to make what would be like a hinge. Remember the hinge? Anybody? If you don't remember, it's okay. I'm just going to apply one place where it's all on. One place. I can start from the edge. I'm going to start in the middle just for an example. So I just divided this, and now we're going to conquer each problem. That's the difference. You need to break the big problem up into little problems. So we're solving the puzzle, so to speak, into sections. How do you do that? I'm just going to apply it in the middle here. Now this is wraps vinyl, so it's very, very good at doing this. So I'm going to do it now. Let me see if I can do this. So I just put a nice line right here on this surface. You can't really see that, but now my strategy for this, and there is a strategy. Now I want you to think like this when you're doing your piece. Some pieces are harder than the other. So I'm going to go down. This is not working as good as this.
Use this.
Yeah, put the cap back.
Thank you.
It's dry erase.
Good. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to work this out. This is the battlefront. This is that soldier line I'm talking about. The soldiers never like go too far ahead of the others. I know that sounds silly, but just remember that because it's little soldiers, you don't want any of your little soldiers dying. Okay? So I'm not going to fully do it, but just to give you the illustration.
Instant.
Your tool for that and to help move them along is the squeegee. Not, it can be your hand too, okay? But the squeegee. We're going to push down little by little to keep the line of the soldiers all in the same place. So we move a little bit ahead at a time, right? If Bill decides to run out, or Giovanni does, all of a sudden he sees some gold sitting out there or something like that, and he loses his mind because he's like, woo! So he runs out. He runs out there in front of everybody. Woo! He runs out there.
Yeah, it'll have to be highlighted.
Highlighter. Well, there wasn't a highlighter in the medieval times. He runs out there. He runs out there ahead of everybody, and this is what happens. This is what I see. And then all these guys back here are like, what? Wait a minute. You'll have issues right here. You'll have issues here. It'll crease. It'll fold. It'll be all nasty. So make sure little by little the line moves forward. Okay, so we divided, and then we conquer little by little. The line, this isn't the best illustration, but wherever you choose. And then we split up the problem into little problems. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go all the way, little by little. Heat will help us do that. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to demonstrate that. Then I could flip it and do the other side, the same thing. Okay? That make sense? Mm-hmm. The error is this, and you'll always use this strategy. You will always use this if you're going to wrap or get into this. So if you don't divide it up, you're going to try to apply the whole thing. It'll be difficult. Only experts do that. So if you're at that level, go ahead. You can handle it. But if beginners, do this. Okay? Good.
That's too fast.
Too much, too fast. Okay, so practice. So grab the squares that we have here. Grab a squeegee.
Girl, pass me a square.
I don't have square. Oh, I was right in front of that camera.
Give me a square.
Can you give me a squeegee?
You got caught.
Everybody show a squeegee.
Can I squeegee my depression away?
I don't think
Doesn't seem likely. I don't see much depression on your face now. That seems pretty good. I like
I made
that.
myself laugh.
I think you did. I think that was funny. Okay, good. Look at Kenny doing cleaning up that edge like a pro.
Alright.
Dang, you don't have to. That's
Bro,
just
I know.
Kenny said. Oh, in memory of our friend.
I don't want
We
it.
remember you, Zach.
Skip you, Zach.
Okay, I want you to pull the backer off the back of this little strip here. The backer off the back. The backer off the vinyl, so that would be this.
Shouldn't we do the hinge?
Well, I'm just gonna kind of, this is not hard.
No, I mean like that.
Oh, no, just pull it all
I
off.
got it.
So you have a strip?
got it.
You got one? Just find a surface, flat surface.
No.
Good.
Anywhere?
This is this wrap vinyl or not wrap vinyl?
Right
Oh,
line.
yes.
It's not,
Why? How do you know that?
because it's
It's
different.
gray.
I have a question, what is this and why is it?
Anybody else?
The design, it doesn't have the things.
Doesn't have what things?
The like little squares.
The grooves.
Yeah.
This is not wrap vinyl, so this won't work when you go to wrap something complex. It won't.
Can I use
It'll do simple curves, but not complex. All right, here we go. This is just simple, not big deal, but we're just practicing it. So here's your piece of vinyl. We're gonna pretend we're just wrapping the table. It is flat and easy, so it's not a big deal. That's okay. Just put your
My bad.
layer vinyl down. Do not apply it yet. Just lay it down, adhesive side down. Just lay it on there, but don't apply it yet. Just lay it down. So that means just lay it down. Yeah, just lay it down. Wrap vinyl has the wonderful quality that when you put it down, even if it sticks a little bit, it's called tacking it. If you tack your vinyl on the surface, for example, this isn't wrap vinyl, but we're just understanding this. This whole thing could sit here for days, weeks, a month, just like this. Unfinished, looks bad, doesn't look good. So you change your mind and understand that this stuff works this way. You come back a month later, we can pull it all off, heat it up, put it right back on, make it look perfect. So we can tack it on. All right, here we go. So we're going to divide and conquer. You have your square. What I want you to do is you're just going to put, I'm sorry if you can't see it, but all it is we're going to put squeegee in the middle and just make a little line in the middle. So yes, the vinyl is on the table, but the part that's sticking right now to the table is that line you made. Now, make not just a thin line, make it kind of thick, maybe like a 1/2 inch thick.
There we go.
Official on it.
Just 1/2 inch thick or so. If it's, don't apply the whole thing. We're not putting the whole vinyl on. We're just making, we're doing that divide and conquer, okay? So we split that in half. If this was a mirror or like a window car mirror, we could pretend like we just put a crease there or something. You don't always have to divide it. You can start from the edge and go, but just get that. All right. Now, you know where it's sticking and where it's not. Don't, here's the key. You can't really see it, but I'm going to show you. If you have this piece like this down, you just put this little crease in here. When you work your squeegee edge, I'll do it on the board here to show you, don't jump the line. Don't, if you're down here, if the vinyl's already contacted and the adhesive has already made impression, like pressed contact with the surface, don't start up here and apply. What happens is you create a big gap there, a hole and bubbles and creases.
Between
So,
your line or whatever.
yes, start inside of wherever you started that hinge, so to speak, and push forward, up, push up. Okay? Now, when you push up, little bit at a time, move your whole little line. I know it's kind of small, but imagine the little soldiers, you're going a little bit at a time. If you're just like whack, 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 crazy, all your people just died, you just lost the game.
You're done.
Little by little, push it up to whatever side. Yeah, there's cuts on the table, so it's not going to look perfect. But you're using that edge of that squeegee to...
You heard it, Bob? You laughed.
That was good.
That was more fake laugh than you.
That was not fake, that was real.
That's not real.
Dang. Always on me, Giovanni. I don't know, man. I got my own personal little critic. That's alright, I can always use the work.
Mister, you wanna know a fun fact?
Okay.
My uncle that was in the military,
Yes.
he also looks like you.
I'm telling you,
Oh, no,
I already told you.
Yeah,
but
let's look.
I don't know if you're in denial, but...
Stuff under there.
Alright, little by little, push it all down. You did one side, now do the other side. Same thing. Don't go ahead of yourself. Keep the line like if it was a little soldiers in a war, you're pushing them all there together. So you can coach them along, say, you got it guys, you can do it. You're doing good. Everybody say, don't get ahead of yourself. Just tell your little soldiers that. Keep your don't go too far ahead, yes. If you go too far ahead and overcommit, that could be a mistake in dating too, I guess, but if you overcommit on the vinyl and you go too far ahead, that could be a problem.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Nixie. You can do it.
That was easy, right?
Like
Was that simple?
Very complicated.
Very easy.
No.
That hurt.
Yeah, you don't know what else hurts?
I know, mine has like veins.
Both of you.
Why does my vinyl have veins?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This does not look
It
good.
doesn't doesn't start with the A.
That looks beautiful, Mr.
That's like my life.
You gotta flip in the vinyl.
And this is what your life. Heat it up. Ready? Come on up here. Let's fix this.
Do it at his face.
Oh, look at that.
Oh god. Oh god.
Get all those creases out.
Hey!
Now don't turn it back now. There we go.
Hey!
No way, guys.
Oh my gosh, look at it now. Very nice. So we're back to where we need to be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I could do this.
Right.
Very
and try
well
to put
executed.
attach. Listen up.
Oh, watch out, your feet are around the cord.
Listen up. Listen up. I could.
Nice.
I could put the vinyl on and take it off and do that again and again, like countless times before this vinyl really starts losing its ability to stick. Okay, so that's another wonderful quality of this stuff. All right, you ready? I might need some help with this. So I'm going to try to show you and do it on this piece. This is not an easy one. We'll see how it goes. Let's try.
Easy?
So, flat piece, this is not curved, this is not, doesn't seem to make sense that it would go around this, so let's try to see if we can do what I just told you, and then you're going to do it. Okay, I might need some help, okay?
Me?
Yeah. So, here's my first strategy. I'm just going to lay it on, I pull the whole piece off. The whole adhesive's exposed, I'm just going to put it on. Done.
Nice.
Okay, a couple things I could do. If I have a teammate, I can do this really easy. I can do this probably really quick. If I'm by myself, it takes longer and you have to do the strategies I just told you. So I'm going to show you,
Just to say.
I'm going to show you,
Just to say,
A
when
little-
you hit it with heat and then you straighten it out.
no, I'll show you. So let's do our divide and conquer first, that way you can see that, and then we'll go from there. A couple things I'm looking at when I'm looking at the surface is which way I want to go. I'm going to obviously split it. I'm going to go this way and that way, and I want to hinge this or put my little line down in the middle, all the way down, and then work that way and then work this way. Make sense? That's my plan. So let's see if I can do it. It's already draped down. It's good. Do I need heat at this point? Not really. I'm going to use my hand to just give me a line.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can.
I'll get it.
Nice. Nice.
Let's do it on this side. This one.
You already got a wrinkle there.
Oh yeah. All right, there.
Oh, look at that. And I'm not using a squeegee now, I'm just using my hand. Okay, here we go, got it. Okay, there it is. My first line, here's my first line right here. Done. This side is split, divide, and conquer, right? Yay.
Done.
Yay. Alright, good.
Woo.
Now there's all this stuff here. Here's what some people are going to do. They're going to be like, oh.
It's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, you'll get all those creases. It's cold vinyl. It's not going to work. It's just not going to happen. So,
I'll hit it with heat.
I put the line down, and now I'm going to work one side. All right, so heat. Here we go. Here's my line. Here's my little soldiers. I don't want anybody getting ahead of me.
Don't you need this?
Anybody moving. Hey, come on in. All right, ready, Bill? I want you to hit with the heat. If you want to work in partners on some of this, it might work. I'm going to do the other side as a partner would, but this one I'm going to do as a single person would.
Single player.
You need squeegee?
Nope, I need you,
Single for life.
heat guy,
Ah,
You're not comical.
to hit it right here like this. Okay, ready?
So right here?
Yep, right here.
Good.